I'm gonna say I've always said that SEO was like a three-legged stool, which was, content, links, and then social. And where I'm gonna go with this next is I'm gonna say they are counting Chrome views on your website. Okay. So they're looking for websites that have a lot of views in Chrome. And if you don't have a lot of views, the algorithm is a lot harsher on you. Now, I could say to you that means your small business is penalized because you don't have as many views, or I can tell you how to just do a better job to beat your neighbor. Okay? So one of the things that I will say is that and I've taught you these tricks. I just don't know that I knew that it was tied to a data point. It just always seemed to make sense to me. And it's not like Google comes and tells you what they do. So if I'm going to tell you about Chrome views and how many times people, look at your website, when I put a new blog post out, I built an email list. I send those blog posts out to email people. When I put a new podcast out, I send the email out to people. I have predicated a lot of my activity on this class. And what I mean when I say that is, first of all, I did something I said I would never do, which was put the class on the internet. And it's been one of the best things that I've ever done. And I was forced to do it because of COVID. So it's not like I'm a hero and I bent and was malleable and, was a good business owner. I was basically forced with a rope, around my neck to say, I'm going to drag you into doing this. So I went ahead and did that. And ever since we have run the video part of this, we've run the podcast part of this. And my sense, and again, I told you the kind of how I got here, because my sense of this was if I put up a written page, people would come and they would go, they would scan the page, and they may or may not pay attention to it. If I add a video to a page, what I do is I hold the user on the page for a minute, and Google's going to think that page is more valid because somebody hung around for a second. And if I add the podcast to the page and that browser stays open and the connection stays active because they're listening to the podcast on that page, that's going to tell Google, hey, wait up a second. This page is really pretty popular. People are looking at it. People are interacting with it. People are engaging with it. And therefore, this website has more value. I did all of that not really knowing that these Chrome views, and I'm going to give a couple more terms attached to this in a second, were actually being monitored enough that it's going to affect how well my page ranks.